So for Friday Fun videos, I've decided to start something new, which is evaluating yesterday's watch models today. I thought this might be fun. There's a lot of old models I can talk about, and it's fun to have a reason to talk about them. So first off, a shout out to Daniel Martis and Mike Perkins. They worked and helped me out to make this possible. As you're about to see it. So thanks you guys, I really appreciate it. So talking about old models, and by the way, when I do these videos, I'm speaking extemporaneously. There's no planning, I don't have a script, I'm just talking. So there's a good chance that I'm gonna miss some information or gloss over stuff. So if you have a question or you want to know something more about something, just ask in the comments of this video and I'll answer you. So what we have here is the SBDX001 Marinemaster, 8L350100, I believe. Anyway, these came out, what, 17 years ago? So, I mean, this is an old model. But not everybody's going to have one, and maybe you're thinking, maybe one of these days I'll invest in one. Seiko's been making them for a long time. They're cool. Let me talk about them. So I had one of these before years ago, but the original owner had bought it and then brushed all the surfaces by hand. It looked terrible, and so I sold it. And then years went by, and then recently I was thinking, well, it'd be cool to have one. So a guy on Reddit on Watch Exchange had one of these, and so I was like, okay, fine. It was a good deal, and so I bought it. Seiko Marinemaster Professional. The only thing is it did not have a complete bracelet. And so again, thanks to those guys, Daniel Martis and Mike Perkins, I was able to get enough links to rebuild my original bracelet. So there it is. These have been out for what, 17 years? This watch is from 2013. So this is unrestored original 2017. Whoops, that's not what I wanted to do. Let's look at the numbers. So I'm going to set it to 52, which is pretty much what everybody uses. This is an unrestored original watch. Let's look at the numbers and see how it's doing 4 years on. I haven't done anything to this. I haven't adjusted it or touched it or fooled with it or anything. That's not bad. So this thing is, what, 4 years out of new. Service intervals are 5 years, technically speaking. Amplitude's a little low, but look, as a high beat wheel, it's running decently. It certainly is going to be an accurate timekeeper. There's no driving need to service it right now. I'd leave it. In fact, I'm going to. It's my watch, so I'll service it when it occurs to me to service it, but I'm not doing that today. It keeps time to within a few seconds a day. And now I haven't run it down to see how it performs at like half power in terms of accuracy. This is at full power and it's all warmed up, so that's not bad. So 4 years old, 4 years on, still running decently. I have the original strap for it, which is nice. I'm not a real big fan of these. I think these waffle straps are too thick. Box is nice, though. Of course, that's always good. Nice to have a box. I think my first initial impression on these was, when they first came out, was that they were a little burly and a little beefy. But at that time, I didn't really have anything else to compare it with. And in the time since, I actually picked up one of these. So this is a 6159 7001 from 1969. This is what this is based off of. And you can see the differences in it. This is like sort of a hulkified version. It's like kind of puffed up. But on its own, unless you compare the two side by side, you can't really notice that. The lines, the basic lines are still there and they're still elegant. I mean, it's hard to really compare anything to one of these, because it's just such an elegant watch. But on the flip side, this watch, it just feels kind of delicate to me. It feels old. It's not like a really robust bang around, punch your way through a wall watch. This is a one to baby and be careful with. I've always felt a little tentative having this on my wrist. It doesn't help how much money they're worth. It's very hard to enjoy wearing a watch when they're worth so much money and they're so irreplaceable. That is where the Marinemaster comes in. Now, the Marinemaster is a reimagining of this one. It has a lot of the same case lines. Some of the things are different. This one's easier to wear. It has a much lower profile. You can see it's much lower. This one's just thicker and beefier, and it's a less elegant design, slightly less gracious, but it has a nice tooly feel to it. Seiko did a few things. Let me talk about the things that I think I wish they would have done differently. I don't know about the stack height of the movement. I wish the back was just flat. I wish it didn't have this bump up here. I wish the back was just flat. Also, the height of this rotating ring is pretty high. If that were a little lower, that'd be great, but it's not bad. And I think they did some of the other things they did really well. They got the insert, in my mind, they got the insert perfectly right with the correct font and everything. The right size in the pip, not the smaller style pip like the SKX is. A nice big pip, it's got balance. And whoever the person was who designed this handset, they were a genius. It's one of my biggest complaints about modern Seikos. They always get the damn handsets wrong. Handsets always look funky, they always look weird. But not this. This beautiful, beautiful balance and the sort of the strikingness of the hands with the high polish edges and then the brush surfaces. It's a beautiful handset. It's a masterpiece. It's a crowning piece for what Seiko did to this watch. I've always been faintly annoyed with the 4 layers of text here. I think it's unbalanced. I very much wish that they had just said Marinemaster Professional 300, gotten rid of this automatic. The watch would be nicer looking, but it doesn't bother me that much. And I also am very, very pleased that they did something minor. They didn't, in this case, they didn't try to replicate the pink stoplight here, which they did with the limited edition gold ones. This is it's just regular. It's the 2-piece hand, which is nice and balanced, but it's all white. I think that's great. Now, about the bracelet, a lot of people were complaining about the bracelet. I was absolutely ready to complain about the bracelet too, because of this thick clasp. It's a heavy watch, but this thick clasp, a lot of people bitch about that. And I was absolutely prepared. In fact, I was beginning to source down a replacement clasp that would get rid of this diver extension, because that's why it's so thick. But then I found something. I'm one of those people, I don't know if you're like this, but if I get hot, it feels like my wrists swell up and watches become uncomfortably tight, because I already like my watches a little loose. They have to be loose on me. So anything stiffer at all and it feels like it's binding up. I actually found that I use the diver clasp a lot, that if it feels like if I'm cooking in the kitchen or something's hot or, running around or whatever, I can actually just very quickly, I can loosen this up and all of a sudden my watch is comfortable again.